What's the deal, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. G Nice, and today I got a special guest, Evan Clark.
What's up, y'all? Evan Clark, St. John's University, wide receiver.
And y'all watching G Nice TV. You dig? All right, man, so what's the deal, Ev?
Nothing much.
How's your day going?
It's all right, Got my classes in, got a quick lift in. It's Friday, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Friday.
So, man, how is, St. John's been treating you for the last 4 years? Like, how's it been for you since you got here throughout the 4 years? And then, obviously, coming to an end, your senior season coming to an end, what's next?
Well, first off, St. John's, man, I can't thank them enough what they've done for me, man. Just from every aspect, not even just for football, just helped me mature as a person. St. John's has really been a key part of that. But they definitely helped me become a player that can play at the next level, and that's where I'm headed next. I'm going to try to, take my talent and make something out of it, you know what I mean?
So like, coming out of high school, how was the recruiting process like for you? And who, what kind of coaches were reaching out to you to try to get you to play for their program?
Yeah, so like coming out of high school, I was a small dude, so I didn't have a whole lot of, interest shown toward me. I had a really good team, so there was no standouts on the team. So a lot of us, we had a lot of good talent, but nobody, was wowing any real coaches. So my recruitment process wasn't, a whole lot of people lined up for me. So when it came down to choosing for St. John's, they were a list of small schools. I had like 3 small schools coming at me. And St. John's was the first school that came out all the way to my school and really sat down and showed me what they have to offer outside of football. And so I took my visit, had a really good time out here. And then my high school coach always told us, get out of Glendale, there's more to life than just your hometown. And so with that being said, I was like, all right, I'm going to take a next step, go outside my comfort zone, and, get out the city and try my luck here.
So how was your visit when you came?
It was different, man. It was different, man. I came out the day after my prom night.
For real?
Literally, I didn't even go to sleep that night. Me and my best friend, James, man, we left prom, went home, packed our stuff up, and before you knew it was 5 o'clock in the morning. We had to go to the airport, flew out here. Last day of April, man, still ice and snow all over the ground. We landed, it was like, man, what do we get into here? But
so you just left a hot place and then you get here.
Extreme hot to extreme cold, man. But no, it was really cool to come out and, experience something different. And the people here they were real welcoming, And so, like I said, I just took a little chance. And
so like when you got here on your visit, obviously you got introduced to all the coaching staff and the team. So them welcoming you here and showing you around campus and showing you what they could offer outside of football, do you feel like that's why you strongly committed here? Yeah,
well, I mean, I had already knew what I wanted in a school, and St. John's just had it all. You know what I mean? And then having the coaching staff, really show their care for, me bettering myself outside of football, that was a big part of it. And, that really made my decision easy.
So like when you got here and you started your freshman year, how was the transition from high school football coming into college, despite it's a Division III school? You got buddies obviously who play Division I school, and from what they tell you, from their perspective of how it is playing in those, in that level, what is the difference that you experience here at a D3 and from what their experiences are at a Division I school?
I say, the only difference that I've noticed, between our experiences is just the amount of people that's watching you. Because you get on that field, you still playing football with people that play football, and you still playing at the college level. A lot of people downplay Division III. Anything that's not Division I, really, they're going to downplay it and say, it's not competitive football. Man, that was a wake-up call, even myself not being highly recruited, I still had that same state of mind, like, oh, it's D3, it's not going to be that competitive. But then you get in that first game and you realize it's it's a level of college football.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Guys are
still there.
And it's a different strength level. People are faster. People are stronger. You know, you can't get away with a lot of stuff you did in high school, even at this level. And so I say the only difference is, you know, how many people show up to your games. Even though St. John's is known for its attendance, you know, every year being the, you know, the number one team in attendance, but I think that's the only thing. And even then, when you get on that field, it's just you and the people on the field. You know, you don't even worry about the fans anyway. So
that's what's up, man. So like, you didn't have no thoughts transferring when you got here. Just it was all, I'm gonna stay committed and grind it out and see what it could take me from this point going forward. Or did you have any, doubt or thoughts coming across your mind that, you know, maybe I need to go to a JC and try to go to Division I school? Or was there any coaches still trying to contact you while you can, you know, when you're already here, trying to convince you to transfer?
Yeah, well, see, like I said, you know, coming out of high school, you know, you tell yourself you're going to D3, you know, it kind of just in itself as a, you know, immature young kid, you kind of see it as like, oh, I should be doing better. And then to come here and, you know, to start, you know, I got my first playing time, second game of the season, and then I got to start, you know, our biggest rivalry in the third game of the season as a freshman, you know. Your head starts to get a little big. You start to feel like, oh, well, maybe I am better than this, you know, better than D3. And then that's what I can say about St. John's is I had, you know, these senior mentors, Darryl Williams and Kyle Grant, you know, two guys out of Cali. You know, they coming from the same similar situation where they came from a West Coast kind of type, you know, football competition level, you know, and they kind of felt the same way their first couple of years coming in, you know, like, hey, I can do better than this, you know, football was life. But then they really sat me down, you know, I used to, you know, talk to them about, you know, what I was thinking, how I was feeling. And they say, you know, sometimes it's more than just football, you know, you got to understand what college is here for, you know. And that really put it in perspective of what St. John's is, you know, and what it's going to do for me. And so they really grounded me and kept me here. They said, you got a great opportunity to keep playing football. And so I was like, all right, you're right. You know, I'm going to keep playing football, keep playing my kind of football, and, you know, and get a good education at the same time. So they really grounded me, stick me here, keep me here, because I definitely a couple times thought about transferring back in-state to Northern Arizona University. You know, not super big, but it was still D1. But, no, they definitely kept me grounded, and I'm glad I listened to them, you know.
That's what's up, man. So, like, you know, what is something that you might tell people back home, the youth and communities, or just in general all around across the world? You know, a lot of kids out of high school are like, you know, I want to go Division I, or they're not highly recruited. They go to a JC route, try to still go Division I, and some don't, you know, make it. So what is your advice, or what's something you would tell to those kids, you know, about going to a Division III or maybe a Division II?
Most def. I think what I would tell them is same thing my dad always told me, you know, don't think of it as Division I, Division II, Division III, anything like that. Think of it as opportunity. You know what I mean? You got an opportunity to keep playing ball. A lot of people come out of high school or, you know, they don't get a chance to do it. You know, they didn't even get a chance to come out and play again. You know, understand that you got an opportunity to play football at the next level, no matter, you know, if it's Division I, Division II, or Division III, you know, you got an opportunity. And what you make of that opportunity is on you. And so, like with me, you know, I didn't get the best, you know, the biggest school offering me, but I came here, made the most of my opportunities, and, you know, I had the career I did, you know what I mean? So I tell a lot of kids, just take your opportunity and understand it's a blessing and go with it, you know?
Yeah, man, that's great. So where you from exactly in Arizona?
I'm from the west side of Phoenix, right there on the border of Glendale and Phoenix, man.
So when you come out here at a place, middle of nowhere, it's cold. You know, how was that, you know, adapting to the weather and getting used to it?
It was a 100%, bro, 180 flip, man. Like I said, I came from hot Arizona, the city, you know what I mean, come out to cold Minnesota in the rural woods, bro. Man, I'm telling you, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. That first winter, man, I think it snowed like October 14th or something like that, man. The first snow, and it didn't stop until May. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a new experience to get used to, you know. And I still to this day I ain't used to the cold. I don't think anybody get used to this cold, but I don't know, you know, my high school coach used to tell us all the time, you know, don't worry about the things you can't control, you know. And so I kind of always had that in the back of my head, you know, don't worry about it, don't let it dictate, you know, how I take care of business out here, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but it was hard, I can't lie, you know.
So your first game was in the snow. How did that affect you?
That first game in the snow, man, it was bittersweet. Because, you know, it was like, oh, yeah, this is dope. You know, I got something I can say a whole lot of people from home can't say, you know, they did. You know, I'm doing some things that people wish they could say. I played a game in the snow. At the same time, man, it's still cold.
Yeah.
It was still cold, man.
I know your hands was freezing.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, still had my coach's voice in the back of my head, you know, don't worry about it, just play your game, you know.
Yeah.
You can't control it, just focus on what you can. And so definitely did that, and, you know, I played a couple games in the snow now, so.
Man, so tell me about that feeling, how it was when you played against St. Thomas. You know, that's your biggest rival here at St. John's. And your senior year, you get to play that game in the Twin Cities, the opportunity to play in the Twin Stadium, right? Target Field?
Yep.
So talk about when you walked in, the moment you walked in that stadium, the stadium was packed, bro.
Yes, it was.
It was a full house.
It was, yeah.
And you put your team back on track to have the opportunity to win.
Yeah.
Talk about that feeling when you scored and everyone in that stadium just went wild, bro.
Man, I just had a whole wave right there.
Wild,
you know,
bro.
it just took me back.
I was on the sideline turned up, bro.
That whole wave, man. You know, like I said, for St. John's, you know, we're used to playing in front of a big crowd, you know, but that wasn't nothing like that crowd that we played, you know. I think it was like, 38,000 people.
A lot of people.
It was great, you know, just that, first off, the experience in itself, you know, I done got used to over the years, I've gotten used to that rivalry. Like I said, my first start for St. John's, my freshman year, was against St. Thomas, you know. So, you know, my first big game was against them, you know. So I'm kind of used to that rivalry. I knew it was going to be a fight. But that, you know, scoring to put us, you know, back in the game right there at the end of the fourth quarter, you know, it was really good. But, you know, I felt like I was supposed to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I was excited. You know, of course, you know, I'm playing the game. You know, I'm doing well. I'm going to be excited. But at the same time, you know, business wasn't done. And so I just try to stay focused. I kept telling everybody, you know, as I'm walking back, you know, to the sideline, you know, hey, we got one more. We got to get one more. You know, we got to keep balling. But nonetheless, it was a great experience, man. You know, scoring in front of my own student section.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
they got some good shots on you, too.
Exactly. You know, I got some good pictures from some good memories, you know, and St. Thomas got a good defense. So just in general, just to be able to score on a defense like that, you know, that gives me a lot of confidence in my own abilities, you know, letting me know, like, yeah, man, you know, you can do this against a good competition, you know. And so it was really cool to, you know, get that done and be able to be that leader that, you know, the team called on to make a play. So
like, do you feel like after that game, it was televised, right?
I think it was locally. If not, you know, if it wasn't just locally, it was on, you know, a small ESPN channel or something like that. I don't know. But
so the fact that it was out there, though, I mean, I seen, was it Sports Center in the morning? It was college. It was game day, and they was talking about the game, how it was going to be big in the Twin Cities. You guys were the first in history to play a football game in that stadium. So I mean, I know it got a lot of media attention, a lot of scouts that was already looking at you throughout 3 years. I'm pretty sure they tuned into that game. So do you feel like that moment when you scored, and just in general playing in that big moment, was there a lot of coaches reaching out to you after the game that told you, hey, we're going to be checking you out and we're going to come to your practices and whatnot? And what was the opportunity like after that?
I don't think the opportunity grew anymore. I think all of them were already waiting for this game, you know. The scouts that I've already talked to beforehand, you know, they all told me, you know, we like you, we're just going to wait, you know, until, you know, this St. Thomas game, you know. And that was just like I said, that play, you know, that was just an example, you know, that I can play, you know, with the best competition and whatnot. So I think that's really the biggest thing that the scouts were looking for, or just anybody that's, you know, keeps up with me, you know, how do I play against, you know, in the biggest situations. And so it wasn't, I don't think it was any more. I think it was more of a reassuring, like, yeah, this kid's the real deal and whatnot. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So growing up, becoming the young, successful man that you are at this moment, and then, you know, furthering that, who has been those people that shaped you to be the person you are today? Like,
yeah.
you know, obviously there's motivation behind everything, and there's a purpose why you're doing this. So, you know, who are those people in the background that's pushing you and supports you through all the tough times?
Yeah. Well, luckily, you know, I've been blessed to have both my parents in my life, my entire life, you know. I come from a really, you know, down-to-earth home with my parents. They did a great job raising me. You know, I can say that with the, you know, 100% honesty. My parents are the ones who have built me to be the person I am. They've done a great job with me. But also, you know, I had a lot of help with my coaches, both high school and college. They have been a huge part in, you know, keeping me as an honest man, as a hard-working, dedicated person, you know. I give a lot of credit to my head coach in high school and my wide receiver coach in high school, much like I do here in college. You know, my wide receiver and head coach here did a great job of, you know, keeping my focus, you know, on the things that are important, you know, not even just football, but just, you know, with keeping school right, you know, keeping my morals right, you know, really making sure that whatever I do in life, it's 100% honest and genuine, and it's, you know, straightforward. I've never smoked, I never drank, you know, and that's a test of my parents, you know, always telling me, you know, there's no use in it. There's no point in drinking that's poisoning you. Smoking is not going to, it's illegal, you know, why would you do it? You know what I mean? So I really give a lot of credit to those people, my parents, my high school coach, my college coaches, and it's like every phase, you know, as a kid, you know, my parents were really there, you know, taking care of me. As I went to high school, you know, my high school coaches became, you know, those people that were my guardians. And then as I get to college, my college coaches. So every, you know, phase of my life, I've had two people, you know, really watching over me and taking care of me. So.
You know what I like about you, bro? It was one game this season. It was a home game.
I know which one you're talking about.
Bro, you had caught the ball. I think it was like a short route. Bro, you juked, bro. You juked like 4 people.
Yeah.
You did a spin move.
Yeah.
And I think you took it to the crib. You probably got some.
I remember that play. I know what play you're talking about because it got called back.
Oh, man.
It got took from me, man. But I know exactly what you mean, and I worked for that one. I did.
When I seen that, bro, I was like, yo, somebody's playing Madden, bro. I was like, it was like a Madden game, bro. You only do that shit in the games.
Yeah,
and when I seen this in person with my own eyes coming from you, bro, I was like, yo, this is going to be some special dude in the league.
Yeah.
Like, real talk.
Appreciate it.
So just keep doing what you're doing, and everything is going to take care of itself when you get there, bro.
Yeah.
But who has been that mentor for you when you got here? Obviously, you said some of your coaches, but who was that coach? Was it Coach Cole, the receiver coach?
Cole has definitely taken my game from here to, you know, up here. Cole.
And he played in the league too, right?
Cole did. He played in the league, and I think that's what's been so helpful in his ability to coach me is, you know, he knows what it takes to get there, what it's like to be, you know, an NFL receiver. So I take everything he says, you know, and really apply it because, like I say, ain't nothing better than experience. And he's lived it. He's done it. He made a life of it. I think he played in the league for about 5 years himself. So, everything Cole has taught me, you know, not just, you know, because I had the athleticism already, you know, but Cole taught me the intelligence side of football. You know, he really taught me how to understand defenses, you know, coverages, you know, reading different plays, and understanding not just my position, not just, you know, maybe a scat back's position, but understanding what the quarterback's doing, what the linemen are doing, who they're blocking for, understanding the whole scheme as a thing, you know, really getting my intelligence level up, you know, and that's what separates you when you get to the NFL because everybody's a super athlete there. Now let's step it up, and who's going to be the super genius, you know, of the game, a real student of the game. And so Cole has really been really good at keeping me true to understanding more than just, you know, catch the football, you know what I'm saying, and making a play, you know, understanding the whole scheme of it. So
like how important it is to you film, and outside of practice putting in that extra work, you know, how many hours of film do you watch a day throughout your week?
Well, I can just run through it real quick. So, like, I had one class a day this semester, and that's because I'm on the end of my college career, so I've pretty much knocked out all my classes. But I get out of class, about 1:30, 1:40-ish. We ain't got practice until 4:15. I'm gonna be in film from that time. So about 2.5, 3 hours, I'm being filmed every day, throughout the week. And that's not including, you know, our Monday film sessions where the whole team is sitting there watching for 3 hours together, you know what I mean? So every day I'm going to watch film on the opponent. If you don't, you know, how you expect to, you know what's going on, you know what I mean? And I got that from Cole, you know what I mean? You know, Cole always told us, you know, the more you prepare, the easier it's going to be for you, you know what I'm saying? The more you understand how they play, the more you understand how to beat them, you know what I mean? My dad always told me, you know, failure to prepare is preparing to fail, you know what I mean? And I always took that as, okay, well, if I don't spend my time, you know, preparing for these guys, well, I'm just setting myself up to lose. You know, I'm setting myself up not to beat these guys. So film is super important. Like I said, it's like, you know, getting the cheat codes or, you know, getting the answers to a test, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I take that as, you know, adding another arsenal to my game for Saturdays, you know what I mean?
So, I mean, how many coaches have came out of, 32 teams? How many? So was it 30 out of 32 teams?
I think if I remember what Cole was telling me, I don't keep track of all the
coaches that
of all the business cards and whatnot. But Cole has all my business cards of all the scouts that came through from all the teams in the NFL.
How many coaches, you know, reached out to you personally?
Oh, I shook every single one's hand. I shook all the guys' hands that came through and, you know, spoke with me. But yeah, I think Cole told me it was either 29 or 30 of 32 teams that came out. I think the only teams that didn't come was Pittsburgh and New England, which respectively those guys they got their team stacked. You know, so
that'd be dope though, getting a pass from Tom Brady.
I wouldn't mind any Big Ben either. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
that's the man. So I wouldn't mind either of those guys, but I'm definitely blessed with the opportunities I've gotten
Pittsburgh
already. So
y'all sleeping? You get Juju, Evan, but Bryant.
Hey, I'm
and
a fan of Juju too. I like Juju. I like his style.
You're gonna have a duo, man.
Yeah.
But those coaches that have came and talked to you, has there been personal relationships that you built with any coach in particular that you talk to on a daily basis?
Not consistently, you know, and that's a part of the professional side of the whole business. You know what I mean? You know, really making sure that there's no bias, you know, coming out of these guys. You know, they don't want anybody because, you know, they say the NFL stands for not for long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just business. You know, that's nothing personal against, you know, the players and who they are as a person. That's just how the game works. You know, and so a lot of the guys, they right from the jump, they make it a business trip. You know, they don't want to make it, oh, hey, let's go get some, you know, food afterwards, you know, because they understand, you know, it's business first, relationship second. And that relationship will come, you know, once I'm in the system, you know. But for now, you know, it was pretty much an interview process, you know what I mean? And so that's what every single person, you know, they you know, we get into personal conversations. We talk about family life, you know, what it was like growing up, much like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, it's still shake my hand, you know, thank you for the opportunity coming out and, you know, keep working. And so that's pretty much how it goes, you know, and I'm looking forward to building those relationships later on. But for now, it's just business, you know.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about, you know, who you're training with right now, getting you ready for your pro day and your combine. And, you know, they put in your nutrition plans. Are they doing, you know, every day is it going to be a workout session? How many times a day? And talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so we still in the early phases of all that. You know, like I said, season just ended. You know, during the season, I tried to focus as much as I can on still being a St. John's football player, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't want to let anything distract me, but now the season's over is when things are starting to kick in. You know, I just got my agent, you know, and I just secured a trainer. And so, you know, it's early, but we still got some good things, you know, going. Like I said, I just got the agent, got the trainer, same guy that trained Adam Thielen. I'll be in the city. You know, I won't be out here at St. John's, but I'll be in the city. I'll still be in Minnesota. I'll be over in Maple Grove. And, you know, I'll finish the school year out, you know, have my Christmas break and whatnot. And then it's back to, you know, grind. Right now, you know, I'm working out with, you know, teammates. And, you know, Cole is, you know, giving me what I need to be, you know, getting in shape for, you know, getting my lungs back, getting my lungs up, you know, making sure I'm ready to run all day, you know. And I'm down for that. That's what I'm here for, you know. I wouldn't want it any other way, you know. But, yeah, finish the school year out, you know, enjoy some family, you know, one last time before, you know, life starts, you know.
Yeah.
And after the first of the year, you know, we'll be right back into it. And
that's good, man. Just, you know, coming from here and going through what you went through, just embrace every moment from this point on, because, you know, for sure all these things you went through got you prepared for this.
Yep.
And you seem like you ready to go for it, you feel me? And you're going to make some moves in the next level. For sure, any team that gets you, bro, they're going to have someone special. So
I appreciate that, man.
Just keep doing you, family. And you already know it's going to be solid when you get there.
Keep praying,
Yes, sir. But, hey, man, you already know what the deal is, man. Got your boy Evan Clark in here with us.
My pleasure.
And stay tuned